Office workers of Reddit, what's your go-to activity to look busy when you have no work to do? Just look frustrated with whatever you're doing. Squint at your computer screen, shake your head, let out an occasional sigh, have a bunch of papers on your desk you can rifle through periodically. You don't want to look so frustrated that you might need some help, but if you do this right everybody will think you're already too busy with something to be bothered. One step further, I have a long colorful spreadsheet with a lot of numbers and red and green bits in it that I open and scowl at when I'm done with everything, but don't feel like talking to my coworker. It's just my bookshelf. Categorized by publication year, format, genre, and language. Yes, I made it at work. If you work in a big enough building, you just put something important looking in one hand, papers, a clipboard works perfectly, etc., and scurry intensely from one random place to the next. Make friends in different areas, stop to chat briefly, find the good clean remote restroom and use it, grab a cup of coffee, help somebody else with work that's more interesting than yours, etc. Rinse, repeat. As long as you're holding something official looking, change it up, and hurrying semi-urgently from place to place you can go like this right up to your yearly review. Hopefully you manage to get some actual amazing shit done here and there along the way. This was my go-to, carry something and walk fast and people leave you alone. I also had a private bathroom, not like, at a certain level you get a private bathroom, just a series of coincidences. Female dominated workplace so already less competition for a men's stall. We worked in a secure area, so lazy people didn't both leaving that area. Our entry foyer was 2 stories with a staircase and there were bathrooms on both levels and most visitors use the bathroom on the ground floor. All culminated in me having a private bathroom with better toilet paper on the 2nd floor of the foyer. I have a steady flow of work these days, but when I first started, my position was brand new. So there was not a lot to do, and it's actually the reason I joined Reddit. Figured I could stay current with all the free time I had. But yeah, those first few months were rough, so I started emailing myself really long articles and short stories. I'd then either just read them straight from email, or I'd paste them into an Excel/Word/Publisher document. A lot of the articles came from here. That's an amazing workaround. We weren't allowed to use the internet on the computers at the laboratory I used to work at, then some dick got phones banned as an excuse to throw his weight around. So I bought a binder and put tons of lab equipment manuals in and cut a rectangular hole through the back half of the papers. My phone went in the rectangular hole and I surfed the web with impunity while looking like I was studying important things. Been 5 years since I worked in an office, but these. In a call center I dial a number one knew would not connect, i.e. leave last digit off. The line registered as busy, so my busy on a call stats were always very high. Just had to remember to cover the phone light with something if I walked away to make a coffee or something. Always leave something on the computer screen that is an Excel document with lots of data etc. Remember to scroll from time to time and don't use a screensaver. Ideally your screen should be not seen by others walking past, but this is for when you can't control that. Tell others how busy you are. Needs to be done carefully so you aren't seen as a drama queen. Just time to time and slightly under your breath comments back well anyway got to get back to my desk, lots on. Or in staff meetings or with your manager praise the team. Thanks everyone for all the hard work getting done. This is a great team. Always carry documents with you when walking around the office. A folder or just any papers. Great for going to a chat with a coworker. From afar, if you are seen holding papers you look busy, and it must be about work, right? Thinking on that last point. Walk with purpose. Walk slightly faster than normal from A to B. Stay 5 minutes later than others leaving office for the day. Come to work 5 minutes before they do. Leave empty coffee mugs on your desk in the morning. Make a coffee, but have one with dregs as a spare prop. You've been in for ages at a glance. Oh, I'm having a bit too much fun with this. Lol. Open up various tools for system monitoring and look at them. If something went tits up we'd get an email, so I don't really need to do that, but it looks busy and maybe I'll notice something important. Otherwise I take some training courses or something. Most aren't very good, but it's fuel for my self-evaluation come mid-year. Management is pretty laid back where I work at. When we are busy, we get properly hammered, and I'd be doing myself a disservice by not keeping up. So when I'm browsing YouTube with earphones, they know it's a slow day with truly nothing to do. Same here. I sometimes feel guilty and or lucky on the really slow days when I have YouTube or Netflix open. My boss has straight up said he knows he can't ask us to not use it on the slow days because there is truly nothing else to do. But on the really busy days, I withdraw all of those feelings of guilt or luck when I'm drowning in work lol. It ebbs and flows. Ultimately, still lucky to have those opportunities for downtime. I literally have 15,367 emails in my inbox, not including subfolders, because our job communicates a lot through email with our clients and the banks. So, whenever I have downtime, I organize them, whenever someone walks by. But really, I'm learning about things I don't know online, like useless facts, on this day, new words to broaden my vocabulary, etc. Then I get stuck on Reddit, and I end up learning nothing, except how to make myself look more busy at work. Which, TBH, I really shouldn't complain about. I implemented a fun filter for my work because of email. Because of how insanely easy it is to send someone an email, people often don't associate the volume of work created by sending that email. So two people will be having a conversation about some data and one will go, "Man, if only we could see this data compared to the same period last year and the year before that." And the other goes, "Oh, Brad owns that data, just email and ask him." Bing, you have one new email asterisk, but we got a new system 15 months ago, and the two don't talk. So I can pull the data up for the last 12 months, and I can pull up the full year on the old system, but I have to manually paste the middle year together. So now this 5-second email has created 2 hours of work and I don't even know why I'm doing it. So the filter. I'd never complete any unexpected email task request until I was asked for it twice. So I'd reply and go, "Yeah sure, I can get that to you next week," and then just wouldn't do it. If they really needed it, toward the end of next week I'd get a follow-up email. "Hey Brad, we are really stuck without that data. Is it nearly ready?" And then I'd reply, "Yep, sure is. Tomorrow morning at the latest, maybe today if my phone would just stop ringing." And then I'd start it. Most times, I'd never get a follow-up email because it wasn't actually important or necessary. As I usually have terminals and command prompts open anyway, I'm a fan of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I can telnet into it from a terminal window, and it blends easily in with the other 3 or 4 I always have open. Yes, it's clearly a game, if you look at it, but at a glance when passing by, it appears to be similar to the other windows, just harmless data. If it's a job I care about and enjoy, I don't. If I'm not busy, I go and ask for more work. My first job out of college, I worked at a company that treated all of its employees like garbage. 17 over 24 people quit in the 3 months that I was there. I listened to audiobooks and pretended to click on Excel files. Good dental insurance, though. I got my first cavities ever while I was there, maybe from increase in alcohol, to deal with the job, and I only had to pay like $100 to get all of them fixed and replace my retainer. I feel like I'm the only person that feels that way. I definitely just had a talk with my boss the other day about the amount of free time I've had lately. But it works out in my favor, because if I tell him I can't handle my workload he trusts me and will take some off. I'd rather earn my salary than pretend to be busy all day. I find that way more stressful than actually doing my job. About 2 years into my first office job, I really started digging into the various reports we had access to. I found one really obscure report, you know the type, that was probably built for one specific project, but they left it up anyways. Well, I found out that it would actually give me all the updated numbers for my categories, retail, corporate, office, daily, as opposed to either at the beginning of the week or having to run a bunch of reports when I needed them. I didn't really need this every day, and it had a lot of excess I didn't need, but whatever. This report took about 5 minutes to run, but for some reason it basically locked up all the resources on the computer and I couldn't do anything pretty much. We used auto hotkey for a lot of functions, so I set up a quick script to F5 every 90 seconds, which would restart the report to run. without having to re-enter the parameters. Set it up to do that enough times for 30 minutes, combined with sitting with my back to the door and getting good at napping upright with my hands on the mouse and keyboard, and I got really nice 30-minute naps in the morning while looking busy running this report that took a while to run and was prone to crashing and restarting.